Alright, here we are again, beginning beekeeping in Texas. So this is the water meter hive that I rescued. I have put a couple frames of both bees and either emerging brood or open brood. They have a queen, but I don't think she's really laying, so undertaker bees doing their thing. All this is drawn, but that's a dead bee. Looks like they're kind of cleaning out all the wax moth stuff that was in here. It's good. Want them to clean it out. So this is pollen and honey. There was brood in there, but they kind of abandoned it, it looks like. There's not enough bees in here to take care of all this brood. So they just let it go. It's a resource frame now. Nothing you can do about it. Except for add more bees, but if you add too many bees and they're not nurse bees, they're going to kill your queen. So that's not what you want. Here's another frame. I'm trying to see if I can see any eggs or larvae that I didn't move over, but not yet. There are still bees here. That's good. I mean, it was literally, the hive was down to a ball about this big. So I had to do some quick thinking. So we're looking at this. We're looking for eggs or little hive beetle larvae. Nothing on there yet. I just knock everybody off. It's just easier having to have them get crushed or moved. I thought I saw eggs, but no. This hive just needs to get bigger. There's a small cluster of bees over. Oh, there's some eggs. Alright, good. And there's the queen. I marked her recently. They've taken almost everything off, but I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a couple eggs I just saw right in here. So alright, good. That's what I wanted to see. You can gently blow on them and they'll move. Yeah, she's starting to lay. Good, good. That will keep them going. They have plenty of food. Plenty of liquid food and pollen, so I don't see why they would be having any issues. Let's see what's on here. So we've got some, I think this is one I brought over. So you've got some cat brood here. You've got some larvae about to be capped. So they're still, I was gonna put this frame out here, but I'm not going to do that now because workers are keeping this brood warm, and you don't want broods separated, because then that means they have to double their efforts to warm the brood. Even on a day like this where it's like 60, 70 degrees, you could easily have chilled brood. So you need to, because they're used to 98, 99, 100 degrees. So you need to keep this, try to go fast, keep it closed as much as possible, or at least keep it where the bees are. So they're probably all clustered up. And they're out foraging, so that's not all the bees they have, that's just the nurse bees that are left. Alright. And then sometimes I just like to sit out here and watch. So I made the entrance way smaller so you can see all these bees are just waiting for me to leave. There's some pollen coming in that I see. More pollen. So that's good. Very good. I made the entrance really small. It's probably about that big or less. Just because they kept getting robbed every time I put anything in there as far as food or honey from other hives that had too much. They just kept robbing it out. And then you'd get these, they would attack the queen, try to kill the queen. You'd hear the queen piping for help, and I was able to rescue her one time. They had one worker had her by the leg trying to pull her. I just got the worker away from her. And so what I did to move the frames, some people on Facebook recommended this to me. Normally I just either spray them with some 1-to-1 with Pro Health on it that masks their smell so everybody gets along. You can do that, or you can smoke them like crazy, like you're really mad at them. Just smoke the whole hive. That will also mask their smells. Kind of panic them, and then they come back and they're, oh, well, okay, I guess this is fine. And they all get along. Or what I did was I took a frame with brood on it and just kind of set it away. I put it on this cinder block that I'm sitting on here. So it was away from the hives. There wasn't much else on it, just a little bit of brood and a bunch of workers. So the nurse bees would cluster around the brood, keeping them warm. It was like a 80-degree day. And then all the foragers would fly off. You just see them just fly off, and then they would go back to their original hive. So, and then I let them sit out there for about 30, 45 minutes. Everybody was still fine, but it was just nurses left because they didn't want to leave the brood. Put them in there, and everybody was fine. It was like a full frame of nurse bees, so that was a really good boost. But these are the Lysin nukes. I really like these. You can see one there. Maybe I've got the entrance duct taped off. They have little vents underneath, so it's being fully vented. And then I have an entrance over here. So eventually, when they get stronger, 3-4 frames of bees, then I'll open up that one fully. But right now, I think you're just going to get robbed out because all these colonies here or all these hives are just too strong. Well, that's it. A little lesson for the day. Just a really quick hive check. Make sure she's laying. And because I got this out of a water box, and I wasn't sure if it was a virgin queen. I mean, there was a colony going, but there wasn't really much. Actually, there was some brood, so she just must have been either acclimating or didn't think she had enough resources or not enough workers. Who knows? But now she's good. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Really helps me out.